with 5 overs remaining in the 2024 Caribbean Premier League final, and thousands of Guyanese packed into the Guyana National Stadium began their celebration of a second consecutive CPL title as the Guyana Amazon Warriors closing on victory. And as the merriment reached fever pitch, a switch flickered inside the stadium. This time, however, it wasn't the light switch that had been spoken about for the last 5 days. It was a switch that went off in Aaron Jones and Roston Chase head. It all became a blur for those fans as wheeling willows sent letters flying into the stands like cruise missiles locked on their target. In the twinkling of an eye, the party ended abruptly. The Guyana National Stadium was almost empty, and the streets around Providence were filled with distraught and heartbroken Guyanese, voicing their frustration, and every single player, some drowning their sorrows at the bars nearby as the agitation continued well into the night. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the number one cricket channel in the Caribbean. Congratulations to the St. Lucia Kings. I have invited our co-commentator Andre Douglas to join me this evening as we take a brief look back on the St. Lucia Kings winning Caribbean Premier League 2024. Good evening, Andre. Welcome to the show.
Good evening to you, Carlton, and good evening to the viewers all over the world, wherever you may be.
Yes, Andre, it was a fitting victory for the St. Lucia Kings. I want you to tell me if it was just a flash in the pan, if it was a case like all the stars aligned, or they simply played the better cricket. Tell me what really happened.
Well, first and foremost, I want to extend congratulations to the St. Lucia Kings. You know, I believe that the St. Lucia Kings, actually, it was a well-planned, well-executed victory. It was a well-executed season for them. I thought that with Sammy and Faf du Plessis and the other persons of the management team, they really planned and executed well throughout the season. I thought that the team was well balanced. The experienced players in Charles and Faf du Plessis, the youngster in Noor, the left arm Chinaman bowler, Joseph, they all played their part. And I thought that they were so balanced and they played according to the plans that were in place for them. So congratulations. And it was actually, it's not a fluke to me. Yeah, I'm not hearing Carlton. Ooh. I'm not here. I'm not hearing at all. Hello?
Sorry.
I didn't hear.
Sorry about that. I guess everyone was not hearing me as my mic was off.
Yes. I wasn't hearing at all. I wasn't. I didn't hear what you said.
I was saying that it was certainly no fluke. They won. They lost the fewest numbers of match in the tournament. Losing on the 3 matches was fewer than Guyana Amazon Warriors who they played in the final who end up losing 5 matches in this tournament. What is it though, Andre, that let them get it together for this tournament after going to 2 previous finals and losing? And this time, there was no turning back. Were they inspired by Julian Alfred?
I, I mean, well, I think that played. I don't think that played a great part. But I thought that more than anything else, I thought that with the likes of Faf du Plessis, they have a very cohesive unit now. They have been together. Most of these players have been together for some time, so they understand each other. They know the roles and they play accordingly. I thought that, as I said before, they were pretty balanced, and Sammy and the entire backroom staff played them well, and really got them motivated. And I think that Faf du Plessis captaincy played a really a great part. I thought he was excellent as a captain, and along with Johnson Charles, they laid the foundation when they batted, and they just executed their game plan pretty well.
With 5 overs to go, Andre, the St. Lucia Kings need 66 runs to win. At that time, there was a ruckus inside the Guyana National Stadium. It's like they were just converging on the St. Lucia Kings players. The crowd, the noise, the entertainment, the alcohol being consumed, the music getting louder and louder as Guyana Amazon Warriors threatened to run through the St. Lucia Kings and defend the 137. At that stage, did you believe that they were going to win?
Honestly, I don't think they would have. I thought that they were behind 8 ball. I would say I would give them probably, like, say, a 30% chance of winning at that stage, because with the likes of Aaron Jones and Chase, who is not the most aggressive of player who get the ball away a great deal, I thought that Guyana was well and truly on their way to victory. But credit must be given to a lot of credit to Aaron Jones, to Chase. They really turned it on and they really stepped up big time, and they took St. Lucia Kings over the line. So a lot of credit must go to them.
The other thing that one should note about the St. Lucia Kings victory, it is no coincidence that of the top 5 batsmen in the tournament, two of those top 5 were from the St. Lucia Kings, with Johnson Charles making 452 runs at an average of 41, and Faf du Plessis making 405 runs at an average of 36 with a strike rate of 145. Johnson Charles' strike rate was 153. That too, along with their bowlers, for in the top 5 also, they have 2 bowlers in the top 5, with Noor Ahmed, the leading wicket taker in the tournament, getting 22 wickets, and Alzari Joseph getting 16 wickets. Alzari Joseph, it was the leading pace bowler in the tournament again. So we have to when we are talking West Indies cricket, Alzari Joseph have always been outperforming the other bowlers. He has continues to get wicket. But Andre, it isn't a surprise that they have 2 bowlers in the top 5 and they have 2 batsmen in the top 5, Andre.
Not at all, not at all. And I think these 4 players were really instrumental in getting them, first, for letting them having the season that they had. Johnson Charles and Faf du Plessis, I think they played that they put on at least 200-run partnership, at least 2. I know of at least 2. So they always laid the foundation for them. So the middle order didn't have to do much throughout the tournament, and because these 2 dominated so much, they make life so much easier for the bowlers. And Noor Ahmed was just, he was just excellent. He was really the batters really had a difficult time playing him. And Alzari Joseph and also the likes of Roston Chase, they played their part also. So it's no surprise that they did so well, because they had 4 players in the top 5 in each category.
Noor Ahmed was the most valuable player of the tournament. Do you think that someone like Nicholas Pooran pushed him close? If if Budakesh Moti had spun the Guyana Amazon Warriors to victory last night, do you think that Noor Ahmed would have still be the player of the tournament?
I think so. I thought that he had the most outstanding tournament to me. Out of all the players, he was so instrumental. So he was economical. He picked up the most wickets, of course. So I do believe, irrespective of who won, I thought that he was the most valuable player, irrespective of the result last night.
Yes, definitely. And Kester Osborne is saying, I'm really happy for the Kings and the champion who I know would have been here. The champion is a loyal supporters of the Kings. And I recalled one of the times last night when the Kings were under pressure. The persons in the live chat were asking for the champion and he was hiding. So I was a bit disappointed that the champion was actually hiding last night, Andre. The time when he should be showing up, the
Yes.
time when he should be bantering. Yusuf Greenwich is saying, congratulations to the St. Lucia Kings. Yes, congratulations. It was a pleasure. He said that they play good cricket. And he's also, Yusuf said, was Shamar Joseph hurt? That why he didn't play? Andre, do you have any any information about Shamar Joseph why he didn't play last night?
Myself, I'm also in the wilderness, as where that is concerned, and it was quite, a bit baffling to me why Joseph, if he's fit, as to why there's a Reefer playing over Shamar Joseph, because I really don't think that Reefer brings much to the team. He's not going to give you much batting, and his bowling is pretty ordinary. So I couldn't understand why a Reefer would play instead of a Shamar Joseph. That was quite a baffling decision to me.
Yes, I asked myself the question too, Andre. Shamar Joseph, I think, played 5 matches in the CPL. He bowled poorly in 3 and brilliantly in 2. The law of average suggested that he would have bowled brilliantly last night. However, I will take the chance to play Shamar Joseph over Raymond Reefer any day.
Any day.
Because I know that if Shamar Joseph turned up and delivered, he can win the match for us. And when I say us, he could win the match for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. I'm not here saying that I'm a supporter of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, but it just baffling, Andre, because Shamar Joseph at his best is better than any other fast bowler that the Warriors have.
Absolutely. And Reefer is just a pretty much. It begs a question as why Reefer keeps on playing. I just don't get it. What does Reefer have to offer?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah. So Bobby is saying that Reefer over Shamar was just crazy. I had invited Bobby to join us here, but I guess Bobby is stuck in traffic. But it is not too late for him to join us. So those are the numbers coming out of the CPL. Andre, in summarizing the CPL, how would you put it?
How would I put the CPL now? I mean, in spurts, we had some good cricket in spurts. We had some really outstanding performances, but I was disappointed. That in terms of West Indies cricket, the persons who actually perform are the persons the seasoned cricketers, the Fletchers and the Charles and the Purans and the more senior players. We didn't see any youngsters coming through. So I was most disappointed where that is concerned. And that's very worrying to me that we have not seen any youngster coming through for the West Indies. I look at this list right here. Noor Ahmed, Tikshina, Emran Tahir, of the top 5, 3 are overseas players. And Moti and Joseph, those who are seasoned players for the West Indies. So, in one sense, you say that I would say that it was disappointing in the fact that you didn't see any youngsters coming through for the West Indies. It's just the more seasoned players who have performed year in, year out, who actually performed this year also. So that for me is concerning.
Yeah. That is a very good point that you made there, Andre. And so many times in this community, we spoke about giving the young players a chance. And one of the points that I'm always eager to make is that no one should play because they are young, and no one should not play because they are old. Once you are performing, and I heard a number of persons are looking at Charles and said that Charles perform and is not in the T20 team. I do not know why Charles is not in the T20 team, but I believe that Charles has unofficially, let me put it that way, unofficially retired from T20 international cricket. I think that Charles is now want to maximize the remainder of his career playing franchise cricket around the world. I think that's where he's going. You think so, Andre?
Yeah, I mean, very much so, because I don't think, because very unlikely, I don't think Charles will make it to the next T20 World Cup. I don't think it's in his plan, and probably Sammy might have a word with him and say, Charles, that you're not in our plans for the next T20 World Cup. So Charles might say, if I'm not in the plan, what's the sense in playing then? So why not try to maximize my earnings by playing, franchise T20 cricket? So Charles, and you can't blame him. He's at this stage where you can't really blame him. So I have no issues with Charles not being in the team, and I want, I'm glad for him to maximize his earnings elsewhere.
Thank you very much, Andre. Later this year, on November 26th through to December 7th, Guyana will be launching what they are calling the Global Super League. It's a T20 tournament that I'm so proud of Guyana launching. There'll be 5 teams taking part, 11 matches, and the prize money will be $1 million US. The Guyana Amazon Warriors will be one of those teams. And then there'll be 4 other teams from 4 other countries. I heard that Hampshire out of England will be one of the teams in the tournament. Personally, I am happy to see this. I'm glad that Guyana is doing this, and I wish them all the success in putting on this tournament. And I hope that the people of Guyana also go to support this tournament. It will be a cracking event. It will be competing with the Abu Dhabi T10, but I am sure that more persons will be more interested in this Global Super League rather than the Abu Dhabi T10. During that time, West Indies will be playing two test matches against Bangladesh, but it will not affect the tournament. As you know, the test players, most of the test players don't really play T20 cricket. The tournament is endorsed by Cricket West Indies, and there's an understanding that those players who play tests will not be a part of the tournament. Andre, what are your opinions on this tournament? I think it's a wonderful idea. Give me your opinion, sir.
I mean, I have mixed feelings, to be honest, about it, because we have just hosted the T20, although it's the entire Caribbean which has hosted the T20 CPL. Because my thing is this: if Guyana has so much money to invest in T20 cricket to actually host their own T20 tournament, why is it that we are always, boards are saying we are struggling for money? We can't have money for first class cricket. We can't have money for development, because it's a lot of money. $1 million US. That's just a prize money, and I'm sure that they'll be paying out money otherwise. So if Guyana has this amount of money to invest in a T20 global tournament, why can't they invest in the youth cricket in Guyana? So I am a bit baffled right there as to reason why Guyana can find money to host a tournament just following a CPL tournament, and they're gonna host a tournament of this magnitude. I'm not so sure if I'm all that pleased about it, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm looking for a quote from this gentleman from Trinidad. I think I'm looking for a quote here from him, and I'm trying to find a quote here. Just bear with me. Bear with me a minute. I'm not finding it. Here's it. But in somewhere in this quote, he was quoted as saying that Guyana, here it is, Guyana has boasted of generating over 100 US million dollars annually to sport tourism from the CPL. So if they are generating $100 million annually to sport tourism, I don't think, Andre, $1 million would just be a drop in the bucket. And I know that my own country, Jamaica, we spend millions of US dollars each year advertising for tourism, for tourists to come to our country. And if the Guyana government sees this as a way to invest money to bring tourists to the country, I don't really have any issue with that, Andre.
Well, all right, fine. They can. It's good for Guyana in the sense that they're actually attracting tourists to their country. That's fine. That's all good, and that's all, that's all good. But what about the development of cricket in Guyana otherwise? What about, I'm not seeing where they're investing in the youth cricket in Guyana, or money. Well, I've not seen it. I'm not sure if it's been done, but I've not heard or seen where money is being invested in cricket otherwise in Guyana. So if they can find money for such a tournament, I'm pretty much sure that I'd love to see some money, this sort of investment in infrastructure in youth cricket in Guyana. That is my take on it, though.
But as it stands now, though, Andre, I do not know if that is not happening, and so probably that is something that we need to investigate some more. But yes, Clive Light, this is what Clive Light is saying, and he is the chairman of the organizing committee. The passion for cricket in Guyana rivals that of fans anywhere, and we look forward to celebrating our love of the game and our rich and vibrant country with both those visiting in person and watching around the world. That's what the tournament chairman is saying. But this is now, I'm going to quote the president of Guyana. The Global Super League has the full support of the government of Guyana as we build a world-class sport tourism product. It's a world-class sports tourism product, and they see that this is the best way to invest the money to bring tourists to the country. Cricket is a part of our cultural history. It is that unifying force, part of our heritage, and an integral part of our strategic objective in economic diversification, with a strong emphasis on tourism. So we may talk all we want about putting money into the grassroots and the infrastructure and so on, and that may well be happening. I will ask Basil the next time he comes on the show what he can tell us about what is happening in Guyana. But I think this is a strategic move by the government of Guyana, and we cannot blame them for making such strategic move, Andre.
Well, I mean, as government, you have to do what you have to do in terms of, because you need to, as I said, the emphasis is on sports tourism. So in that regard, I think it's a very bold move and a very good move in that regard. But my only concern, as I said, and I could be very much wrong, but I'd say I would have preferred to see some investment, say, in a youth tournament in Guyana, involving the youngsters. But I mean, I could very much be wrong. So let us see what actually will happen.
Yes. Jason Humphrey said, question Mr. Cricket Forum. If they give Darren Sammy all the tools to coach, well, I think he has all the tools right now. West Indies team, will the team improve within 2.5 you have yards there, but I think you want to say years. Jason Humphrey, I'm telling you the truth. Darren Sammy doesn't has that long to improve the team. If he doesn't win the next World Cup, he's gone. It's as simple as that, Jason Humphrey. Darren Sammy won't be the coach of the West Indies team for perpetuity. The West Indies team is supposed to be a winning machine. And if he doesn't win the next World Cup, he will be gone. What your thoughts, Andre?
Well, I mean, to be fair to Sammy, though, I think Sammy, the West Indies T20 team in particular, has improved under Sammy. You know, we have improved from, I think, what, 8th or 9th place, and we're now at 4th. So, you know, we expected to do much better at the World Cup. We didn't make it to the semifinals, but for the past year or so, I think that West Indies has done pretty well in T20 cricket. But yeah, the ultimate really is to win the T20 World Cup. So he will be marked on that basis, how well he performed at the T20 World Cup. But apart from that, I think we have seen improvement under Sammy in our T20 cricket.
Cherry Ann Carmelia Craigwell is saying, the CPL is competitive and a franchise. It will not support an environment for upcoming cricketers. Support for new cricketers will be subject to regional effort. By and large, Cherry and Fraser, you are right, but the CPL does support upcoming cricketers. Each of the 6 franchises have to have at least 2 emerging players in their squad. These players are are chosen by the West Indies and presented a list of the players to the franchises where they can each choose 2 emerging players. So Cricket West Indies will say, for this year, these are the 20 emerging players that you can choose 2 from. And each franchise will have to choose 2. And each franchise have to ensure that there's an emerging player in their team for at least 5 matches in the tournament. It does have to be the same player, but at least 5 matches, there should be an emerging player. So the second part of your statement, I agree with it fully, that the regional board have to take responsibility for the development of their players. The players also have to take personal responsibilities. This is something that I've preached. You can carry the cow to the water, but you cannot let the cow drink. So the players have to do so. But CPL does play a little role. It's not that they're playing a big role, but they do play a role. And Tony is saying, bring on the world. So Tony is in agreement with the tournament, Andre.
Yes, I realize that he's in agreement. I don't know if Tony is from Guyana, but I'm sure all the Guyanese will be very excited, and other person will be, excited, because a lot of people, they love the T20 cricket, and I myself love it. But I'm just questioning the timing of it, and and just other aspects. Really,
Michael Douglas say he is already improved the team since he took over. Yeah, yes, Michael, that's general knowledge. I think we all agree. We all know that. Yeah, definitely. Now it's time for him to win. Absolutely. It's time for him to win. The ODIs is his biggest challenge for me. That's where he have to show his worth as a coach. That's a very good post, Michael Douglas. Very, very good post. What do you think about what you said, son? Your son is saying there, Andre.
Yes, indeed. Because I think I think the focus has been on the T20 cricket, for the past year. A lot of emphasis on the T20 cricket. I don't think that the ODI team, he really needs to do a lot of work on the ODI team, because we're really poor in that regard. So that is where his greatest challenge lies, and that is where he needs to prove his worth, how much he can improve the ODI cricket.
Was it a wise decision to change those 3 ODI matches against South Africa to T20, knowing fully well that we have not played an ODI series since January when we played Australia, or was it February?
Yeah, because we have played so little ODI cricket, and the only way we're going to improve, we need to play more ODI cricket. We need to see more persons. So it was quite strange that they would have changed the ODI, the ODI to 3 T20 for South Africa. Also, given that we played T20, we played South Africa early in the year, so it was really, really a strange decision where that was concerned.
Yeah. But we must also be conscious of the trend too, Andrea. I take your point, very good point. But we must also be conscious of the trend, because the trend is now leaning towards one day international 1 year before the World Cup. So fewer and fewer one day internationals are being played. And as it comes closer to the 2027 one day World Cup, we will now see more one day internationals. But it appears that for the time being, the trend is that they concentrate on T20 and 1 year before. As Nicholas Puran said, even Nicholas Puran said it, that 1 year before the 2027 T20 World Cup, that's when he will be start playing. One year before the ODI World Cup, that's when he will be start playing one day international. Good evening to you, Donald Popper. Greetings, man. Good to have you here. Jason Humphrey said, Romario Shepherd is not a death bowler like Alzari Joseph. He need to bowl from between 7 to 14 overs. Well, I always said it, Jason Humphrey, you are entitled to your opinion. It's your right, and you should always be express yourself freely. And you are welcome. But I disagree with that point. And I hope you respect my opinion just like how I respect yours. But I disagree. Andre, what are your thoughts about Romario Shepherd and Joseph as a death bowler?
I mean, there's not much of a difference. In fact, I thought that for the most part, Shepherd bowled pretty well at the death throughout this tournament. I saw some improvement where that was concerned. I think probably had a few bad games, but I thought that he bowled pretty well at the death for the most part. Alzar Joseph is not a death bowler either. Alzar Joseph is not anything special at the death. So I don't think I can't say, oh, Alzari is much better than Shepherd in the death overs.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. Chariot again is saying, I am concerned about the infrastructure at Guyana to host a league of that magnitude, given the many skirmishes experienced in the CPL tournament. Andre, that should be some concerns, but I don't think that it will be so intense, knowing that it's not really the Caribbean. I think the entire Caribbean will be supporting the Guyana Amazon Warriors in this tournament. For the other 4 teams will be coming from outside of the region. So it will not be so intense, and you won't have those skirmishes, and I'm sure there won't be a switch flickering at the tournament, Andre.
I mean, I think that was quite unfortunate that what happened that night in terms of the light. But apart from that, would you say that they had a lot of would you say that they were disorganized or they had a lot of skirmishes? I can't say for sure. I thought that they were pretty organized and things were pretty smooth for the most part, apart from that night when they had that issue with the light. But that was unfortunate with the light that night. But I would say that they were a lot of skirmishes in Guyana. I wouldn't say that.
And there was one serious skirmish in which a young man almost lost his life, and persons even believe that he had died at one stage. And I heard that someone have been arrested from it. So there was a grave incident.
I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
Yes. Yusuf Greenwich saying, what is the future of Cornwall in West Indies cricket? My opinion, none. What's your thoughts, Andre?
Likewise, I think Cornwall West Indies career is pretty much over.
Yes, and Ashik Mohammed is saying, will we ever see Nicholas Puran in the ODI squad? We'll see him in the ODI squad in 2026, Ashik Mohammed. Andre, as we spoke about Guyana launching this T20 Global Super League, which I welcome, I absolutely welcome it and very happy. Mike Bascom, the director of cricket for the West Indies, spoke earlier this year about a T20 cricket competition coming up in May in the Caribbean. What are your thoughts on such a tournament?
Yeah, I mean that is most welcoming because we need to have a gap between, the CPL and our local cricket, because we need that is where the development of our youngsters should take place. So that is a tournament which is most welcoming. And I mean, Kieran Pollard alluded to such a tournament a few years ago, because he's saying that the quality is not seen where the quality is coming through where youngsters are concerned. So I'm most pleased about that, where the youngsters can get a chance to fine tune their skills before they come to the CPL. So I'm looking forward to such a tournament.
Yeah, thank you very much, Andre. And I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate your company. I appreciate the interaction. Have a wonderful day now. I think on tomorrow I'll be picking my West Indies playing 11 for the first T20 international against Sri Lanka. Join me then. All the best for the evening. And congratulations again to the St. Lucia Kings on winning Caribbean Premier League 2024. Thank you, Andre.
Yes, thank you. All right.